A World Cup winner, a UEFA Champions League winner, two-time FA Cup winner, former Chelsea and Manchester United midfielder Juan Mata is coming to Australia. He is joining Western Sydney Wanderers for the upcoming season in one of the biggest player moves we've seen in A-League history, and this is just weeks after the arrival of Douglas Costa to Sydney FC. What a season ahead it's going to be in the A-League men's competition. I am so excited about this move and what it could mean for the A-League. Juan Mata, I mean, you just look at the achievements that he has had throughout his career here. I mean, club career, total appearances, 651 appearances, 142 goals, 150 assists, contributing to the Spanish national team. Obviously part of that squad that won the World Cup for Spain back in 2010, won the Euros in 2012 as well. He's featured in 10 separate Champions League seasons in the European Champions League, winning it in 2012 with Chelsea. This is a guy who has just played at the top level for a long period of his career as well, and he is set to just really spark the A-League alight this season alongside Douglas Costa at Sydney FC. This is such an exciting move for the A-League and Western Sydney Wanderers, and it's just thinking of the possibilities for this season with these two guys playing in the A-League. You can't help but get excited. A little bit later in the video, I want to talk about how we could see Juan Mata actually fit into the Western Sydney Wanderers setup. Obviously, you know, it's just exciting, just the move itself, and him, you know, being involved in the squad is going to be a huge draw card to bring so many more fans to A-League games, not just at CommBank Stadium in Parramatta, but, you know, wherever Wanderers go this season. But obviously, hopefully, these guys stay fit and fresh for this upcoming campaign. We know for Douglas Costa and Juan Mata, they're towards the end of their playing careers. Juan Mata currently 36 years of age, and hopefully, fingers crossed, they do stay injury-free. But Juan Mata, I mean, you look at the clubs that he's played there, Galatasaray and Vissel Kobe more recently as well. So he was over in Japan last year, won the championship over there as well with Vissel Kobe. So, and that's the interesting thing as well. You look at the trophies that he's picked up. You know, it's almost every single year he's picked up a trophy, and that's quite interesting from a Western Sydney Wanderers perspective. Wanderers obviously haven't won a trophy since winning the Asian Champions League back in 2014. So it's been a decade since Western Sydney Wanderers won their last trophy. All right, this is a club who, you know, their fans demand success as they should, and it's a club with a lot of expectation. Western Sydney Wanderers, they have had success in the past, especially in the early years, and for the last few years, they went through a bit of a rough period, sort of the late 2010s. Last couple of years have been okay. You know, they were back in finals a couple seasons ago, just missed out on finals last season. Now, you know, under the leadership of Alen Stajcic as head coach, who I think is a good appointment as head coach, and with some good signings that they've made so far, and Juan Mata just to take it up to another level, there is ingredients there for Western Sydney Wanderers. And when you're bringing in a guy like this who has won trophies everywhere, I mean, that must be really, really encouraging for Western Sydney Wanderers fans to, you know, hopefully for fans of Wanderers to see them win another trophy this season. At the moment, they're still in the running for the Australia Cup as well. We'll see whether Juan Mata is able to feature in the Australia Cup this year. They're currently the quarterfinals at the time of this recording, and could potentially win a trophy there. But West Sydney Wanderers, I mean, in terms of the way they line up with Juan Mata in their setup, it's going to be quite fascinating to see sort of who shuffles around to fit Juan Mata into that system. Obviously, if he's fit, you want him starting, you want him featuring. So we'd expect Juan Mata to play in sort of that number 10 position. That is the position that he's played predominantly throughout his career. He could slot out in a wide role, but you're going to expect him to play in that number 10 position. So in goalkeeper Lawrence Thomas, there are some reports online that maybe Lawrence Thomas has picked up a big injury, so we'll see what happens with that department in the goalkeeping department there for West City Wanderers. They have signed Jordan Holmes as a backup keeper. A back four of Gabby Klur, Thomas Beedling, Jong Tae-wook, a new signing, a Korean defender from South Korea. Looks like a really decent pickup. Jack Clisby still at left back for Wanderers. I think we'll still see that defensive midfield partnership of Oscar Priestman and Josh Brillante. And then that front four looks really exciting for Western Sydney Wanderers. We've got young Nicholas Milanovic, who, again, at the time of this recording, still at Wanderers. He's been rumoured with moves overseas, Nicholas Milanovic. Juan Mata playing in the middle there, in behind Brandon Borrello, and that would leave Božidar Krajev over on the left-hand side. So, That's the system that we've sort of been seeing the Wanderers play lately in the Australia Cup. Is this sort of system, almost like a 4-4-2 with sort of a standalone striker, and maybe Mata could sit just behind. But we have seen it from Alan Stajcic as well in the past. I remember when he was in charge of my Central Coast Mariners, almost playing a 4-2-2-2, sort of those two wide players almost playing as playmakers. So that's something we could see as well. Maybe Mata plays in sort of a more of a wider playmaker role. It's the kind of position that maybe Milos Ninkovic played a little bit, both at Sydney FC and Western Sydney Wanderers. But you got to as I said, you got to build a team around Juan Mata if he is fit there. And I think that number 10 position, it suits him nicely. You've got the defensive cover of both Priestman and Brillante, who will do a lot of the legwork, and Milanovic, Krajev, providing the pace in wider areas. Borrello obviously has a lot of pace as well, ahead of Juan Mata. So there's a really exciting sort of setup there moving forward for Western Sydney Wanderers. Juan Mata could just be that conductor in the middle of the field, stringing things together, feeding the ball forward for those pacey players, for Milanovic, Krajev, and Borrello as well. You look at the bench that potentially Wanderers could have as well, and there's some decent options there also. Marcus Antonsen or Zach Sapsford could come in as striker as well. Battalato, another good young option in attacking areas also. So a decent depth now that Wanderers are starting to establish. They're a team as well who have just been really quiet in the transfer window up to this point, but now starting to pick up steam. Western Sydney Wanderers. A really, really exciting lineup here for Wanderers. I think if you are a Western Sydney fan, I think there's enough reason to get excited for this campaign. You look at this team here, and I think it's certainly capable of finishing in the top 6. I'm not confident enough to say that they finish, anywhere near the top 2 just yet, but I think they'll certainly be a favourite for finishing in the top 6, especially if Juan Mata can stay fit for the whole season and really contribute to this Wanderers team. Then there's potential there for a really successful team ahead, and whether they're capable of winning trophies, we'll wait and see. But Wanderers fans, how are you feeling about this signing? How are you feeling about the season ahead? Juan Mata, is this signing enough to see Wanderers lift a trophy for the first time in a decade? It's been a long wait for Western Sydney Wanderers fans. It's been a real roller coaster for the past decade. They've had some tough years in recent years, but maybe they are finally turning the corner and they are set for some successful seasons ahead. Western Sydney Wanderers, a huge signing for the A-League. Juan Mata, how do you guys think he's going to go in the A-League? And how do you think it's going to go against Douglas Costa? We've obviously got Douglas Costa at Sydney FC, Juan Mata at Western Sydney Wanderers. That Sydney Derby, round 1 is going to be absolutely insane. We are set for potentially some of the biggest Sydney derbies we have ever seen. Surely they're all going to sell out. Two massive signings for the A-League, and we're going to have some incredible matches throughout the A-League this season with these two guys featuring for West Sydney Wanderers and Sydney FC respectively. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Drop your thoughts on this signing in the comments section. I am very excited about it. I hope you guys are too. Make sure to hit the like button on the way out. My name's Lockie. This is Coast Football, and I'll see you in the next one.